If you want to study like Johan Liebert and reach his height of brilliance, then this video is for you. But if you want to stay weak, then leave it once. Because this is how to study like Johan Liebert.
Well, Richard, how about a drink?
Johan can absorb massive amounts of information rapidly and recall it perfectly. This skill allows him to master any topic he sets his mind to. To emulate Johan's incredible focus and learning abilities, you first need to set up an optimal study environment, free of distractions. This requires both physical and digital preparation. Physically, find a quiet location where you can study for hours without interruptions. A private room or library area works well. Johan locks himself away in isolation when learning intensely. It will not be easy at first, because we are wired to seek stimulation. You will have urges to check your devices. Power through these impulses using mental determination. Visualize how each distraction-free session is making you smarter and advancing your goals. Reward yourself after completing a difficult distraction-free study block. You will never see Johan distracted by anything. As soon as he commits to something, he always follows through. Always. Digitally, eliminate all distractions on your devices. There are a few ways to do this. One, you can turn your phone and computer to black and white mode to turn off all stimulation. Using this method trains your brain to not enjoy looking at the screen all the time. The second way is to fully eliminate all the apps from your phone and block them on your computer using apps such as Unhook or Newsfeed Eradicator. Getting used to studying without distractions requires developing solid habits over time. So I want you to study for as long as you possibly can without stopping for anything. Once you get distracted, take however long you went for, minus 15 minutes. That is the time you'll aim for each session. Then take a 10-minute break. Then go right back to it. Repetition and practice are critical. After going through material once, you need to intensely review it. You must approach the material actively. Johan uses a technique called the memory palace. He uses this to remember everything, no matter how complex the topic. Here is exactly how he does it. When you learn something new, write it down to save for later. Then once you have a decent amount of notes down, separate them into chunks, and you are ready to start building your memory palace. Firstly, on a blank page, draw a room that you know and have been in. Make sure to draw where things are in the room. Now imagine, in your mind, walking through that room, and start associating whatever it is you have to remember to an object in that room. To lock in the memory, write it down on the page from before, next to the item you chose. Using this strategy will help you remember everything, just like Johan Liebert. Repetition and practice are critical with the memory palace. Make sure to revisit your memory palace so it stays ingrained in your mind. Now we are going to dive deep into what Johan actually studies. In college, Johan studied pseudo's law. Pseudo law is fake law, rules that people make up that sound like real laws but aren't actually legally binding. However, this was likely just a cover story. What I believe Johan would truly study extensively is philosophy and psychology. As an extreme nihilist who believes life is meaningless, Johan would be fascinated by influential philosophical works. Some books I recommend are The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, which explores alienation and rebellion, and The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Additionally, Johan needs to master psychology in order to expertly manipulate people and get away with his schemes. Useful psychology books include Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, Influence by Robert Cialdini, and Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Learning what makes people tick is crucial knowledge for pulling the wool over their eyes. Beyond pure psychology, Johan would study criminology and forensics to stay steps ahead of the authorities. He would dive into criminal profiling, interrogation methods, evidence analysis, and more. Mastering these diverse bodies of knowledge allows Johan to seamlessly blend into any situation and bend people to his will through deception and coercion. Very few can match his intellectual prowess when it comes to manipulating human nature. Implementing these intense study strategies requires rigorous self-discipline, but those who can study like Johan gain a powerful, lifelong skill of rapid knowledge acquisition. If you eliminate distractions, deeply focus, engage actively with material, review relentlessly, use memory techniques, and constantly test yourself, you too can absorb information rapidly and recall it instantly like the genius Johan Liebert. This is the step towards your unfair advantage.
And slowly you come to realize